order for a team to leap forward, it requires others taking 2 steps back. We have now our top 2 teams who fought with passion and perseverance, eliminating their opponents to reach and to stand here at the top as the MPL SG Season 11 Grand Finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MPL SG Season 11 Grand Finals. I'm your lovely host, Tintin Loresto, and I want to hear first the supporters and fans of Ignite Gaming. How about the Team Evil fans? Let's now begin the epic rivalry in the Land of Dawn. Please welcome to the stage Team Evil and Ignite Gaming. The big question is, who will raise the Immortal Cup at the end of this race? Let the battle for glory begin. Casters, catch!
Hey, wee! That's what I got. Roto, of course. Because there's only one slot only for the international stage, and now it's either going to be Team Evil or Ignite Gaming. There could only be one, and this one team will make it over to play in the mid-season cup at Ewc Paris. Yeah, to start off with the first team that reached this grand final slot first, Team Evil. They have been solid in their performance during regular season as well, albeit a little bit shaky at the mid, but then when, you know, the playoff buff came in and the notebook starts to appear, but of course, Ignite Gaming on the other side, it's not going to make it easy for Team Evil. Ignite Gaming represented by Kelvin, Jay, Roy, CS, and Diablo. I think there's a lot of talks about Diablo joining the ranks of Ignite Gaming, kind of boosted up just a little bit as well, but at the very least, Diablo maintains on the pressure fight. And into his Raging Sandstorm, that's going to be jumping over the backline, surprisingly actually, but that's actually an ultimate from Blade. In the meantime, down to the bottom lane, he's so strong and Kelvin caught back at it again. Kelvin, unfortunately, will lose his own life, even though there is going to be a total take from the side of Ignite. Yes, and that kind of eliminates what Ignite Gaming wants to do, right? Team Evil so far is the one taking the pace of the game, but hold on a second. Oh, immediately down over to the side of Jay, and here we go. CS was hoping to do a little bit more when it comes to the Blazing Duet. However, Kelvin immediately with the praise of Wrath, literally with a Wrath down over to Powerful, takes him down, slowly working his way into becoming a monster. But there we go. That is going to be the suplex that we're going to be looking out for. As such, Kelvin going to be the first one to go down, followed by Jay. 2 men down already as Evil sets up a perfect ambush. Yups, from Diablo, as he's playing things a little bit slowly, you will see. But right as we talked about it, they both take a turret down to the bottom lane, while in the meantime, Evil becoming very aggressive over to the side of Ignite as they cut the corners right to CS. However, that doesn't seem like to be all good. Then managed to go for a counter attack to back over to the side of Jay. And Kelvin's going to be the next one to go down. And Kiara comes in from back! Immediately with the Bravest Warriors, he managed to get a 2-man stun. But unfortunately, CS will be able to outpoke him with a quick little BMI. While Van continues to move up forward, manages to get a double on top of Ignite! I would say, because that's how Team Evo is abusing this fact. That is going to be a catch right down on the Diablo. Not looking great for his members of Ignite as they're slowly getting whittled down. As Kiara moves on over to the back, he looks for an opportunity or perhaps just poking out onto Ignite, because ultimately the main goal for them is to take down all of these outer turrets, not to wipe out the members of Ignite and try to force on anything, but maybe not, as they're now just going to be jumping themselves right over the side of Jay. He didn't manage to push him all the way back, but in the meantime, Kiara tries to go for the stun, and in the meantime, he managed to get a kill down onto Kelvin. The Lord is still alive, but they're actually just going to go straight in and end it without any stopping. We see a lot from Diablo. Wait, hold on.
which I was
There's an Eve.
made
Wait,
for.
hold on a second.
And a Valentina.
Valentina.
I think also quite interesting down at the bottom lane. Seems like Gear's doing a lot more job.
RWM just going to be popped up coming in, but it doesn't seem like Blade will be able to get himself away from all of that.
But it seems like Ignite Gaming is the one that focuses on the ganks.
As the Blade duet goes down and straight away whip it all out.
Don't do this. The Mirko's the first item. Works well against Roy. But he's already got the time here, sir. So if you talk about distance in terms of prep, hold on a second. Blade.
Ignite pushes himself into the face of evil. RWM from Blade will be able to hold the rest of the members down. But Powerful opens up his own golden hour, kind of lock Kelvin in by a little bit more time. The members from the side of evil to bring down in the bottom lane. A Pringle Trap right tapped over to the side of evil.
It's a very interesting core item. This is a very interesting build, right? It's success. Oh, hold on.
It kind of worked out, but right now Jay unfortunately wasn't able to do too much at that point in time. I thought that he would be able to drop down to his own version of God, but it doesn't seem like he was able to do too much when it comes down to the golden hour. An early game, they may not be able to get the 10,000 gold within 10 minutes, but at this point in time they are far ahead enough to be able to do a number. RWM opens up. Jay was trying to get himself right into the face of the enemies, does not have the golden hour. As such, they bring him down as well.
Cinders behind Team Evil, hoping to do the same. Jay leading on the charge.
As now the rest of the members coming from the side of evil, they want to take down this inhibitor turret at the bottom there as much as possible. As you can see, Kelvin is just going to be putting himself right in the face of evil. However, they are all eating up, they're turning up the golden hour. Jay, he will find himself taken down. The members from the side of Ignite, they are unable to hold the fort down anymore. As such, yeah, he jumps himself right into the face of Roy, takes him down, and so will the inhibitor. The mid lane inhibitor will finally be the next person left. However, Powerful will go down and sacrifice himself. It comes down to 3v3. No, make that 3v2. Diablo now makes its way back over to the fountain. The middle lane creep wave marches in, and the evil successfully takes down two of the inhibitor turrets.
Now it's a 2v3 right here. Members of Side Ignite Gaming starting to go, but Team Evil working on the core.
They want to really take down the core as much as possible, and indeed they will.
All the way into jungle, like what I kind of predicted just a little bit.
Upon the
Now, yeah, I'm already feeling it. Kelvin has to go, definitely go for the assassin.
In the rear.
I'm not liking the positioning from the side of Team Evil. It feels like Ignite Gaming has the better position.
I think they're just going to be jumping straight in. As you can see, Powerful currently is just going to be attacked by Jay as much as possible. But the rest of the members coming in from Evil, they find themselves running backwards. With Diablo picks up a kill down over the side of Blade, and now 1v1 is literally trying to survive throughout the entire occasion for the side of that Kalia.
And then all of a sudden you gain access. Oh, top side.
Mystic Gush coming from Roy, but it doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. As there we go, the title strike blast, of course, Tsunami Slam allows them to be able to get a kill down at the vent, which is very big and very important. Powerful, the one that is going to be stuck in between of the three. In fact, definitely faster than the ALFII in both occasions, putting him above the opponents.
And look at Diablo just keeping Gear in check. Gear's not built out to deal with that Uranus, but
Immediately, Vent gets popped out immediately without Evil while he's still blinking right now. Blade manages to get himself ready. The Evil can no longer bide their time for the moment in time for Vent to eventually pop off, because you can see he's having a little bit of trouble. In the meantime, Blade do it. He's going to be popped right now. Gear manages just bringing a kill down over the side of Kelvin. While, of course, a little bit more of the Tsunami Slam. I love Evil. Not much to plunder if you ask me. But Jay, oh, he flickers on downwards. The title strike, I don't think that he actually managed to land on anyone. He still has got a Tsunami Slam for himself. Jay doesn't have a lot of HP, as such, he will go down. As such, here picks up the kill. But the main thing that we gotta have to look out for is the middle lane and the top lane inhibitor turret that did went down. It died after losing Jay. They no longer have the initiation potential. As such, they know that they're gonna have to dip right out.
yeah, the very least Ignite Gaming was able to take down two lanes right here. Roy was land down the bomb just a little bit, was almost able to land down the Mystic Gush, but now Team Evil has to work with two open lanes.
Bottom lane, inhibitor is now going to be under siege. Diablo doing what he can to kind of buy a little bit of time. Look at the Mystic Gush, the amount of damage that could deal on the vent. But Powerful was looking for an opportunity. Unfortunately, the AOG did not land on anywhere. And such a position, it's going to be bad. Kelvin picks that up, and now they're just going to be moving themselves right in the face of Evil as much as possible.
Ignite Gaming is a few more steps to basically send that mid lane minute to crash against a core. Without Blade, without Powerful, they need to try to hold.
It's a 5v3 right now. Easy puts himself right right in the middle and just gonna be pushing and sure that everyone, the members from Southern Ignite will not be able to do anything. But unfortunately, that's gonna be the tsunami slam that we need to see. That Sun almost gets away, narrow, but still Evil. They managed to, or rather, Evil they did not manage to hold it out, and Ignite will take their first game of the series. Is ultimately forgotten by the meta.
A Kai coming in.
Is that a Diablo? Jungle creeps. I don't think that he managed to steal at this point because Ewc's meta where the mage goes over to the XP lane to get leveled and the mid lane gets leveled as well. But right now Kelvin manages to take the turtle for himself. Although may have suffered a death over there, but at least it means to ensure that he creates the opportunity for his fellow teammates and they will look for a way to go in. But speaking of going in, that is the two members on the side of Evil. They jump straight in over this going on
Most of the time for the side of the two teams, unless something happens.
and that is going to be the containment coming from Diablo. They will be able to lock two person right immediately. And just like that, we're just going to be expecting to see a very good play coming in from the rest of the members from the side of Ignite. But just like that, Diablo, he already finds himself running away and doesn't have a lot of HP to work around with. The rest of the members of Ignite, they want to run, they want to do something. For
That thing resets every kill. So as long as Gear continues on with onslaught, it will be amazing.
It's going to be a kick down over to the side of Powerful. Ricky Sam stomps himself right out of that. Diablo moves himself forward to the side of Ace. Unfortunately, was not able to kick him right in the face. As such, Diablo gets lifted up in the air, gets himself right out of the reef, and quickly trans using the heavy spin, locks right down the Gear, gets him down. And that is something that he will really need to lift the spirits up. Diablo gets himself riding away, while Van drops down the Summon Force, and he's unable to get any form of impact from that.
Gear actually underestimate onto the heavy spin earlier just now, right? Ignite Gaming, I would say the only target from the side of Ignite Gaming onto Evo is probably Gear or be it Ven.
As now the heavy spin coming from the side of Diablo pushes the rest of the members from the side of Evil into the lost pit. Jay tries to get himself away. He will be able to successfully do so. Kelvin tries to go for a little bit of backstab coming in from the back, but unfortunately he was not able to successfully do that. As such, Gear puts up tanks over the side of Kelvin. He creates a rift. Unfortunately, these rifts down on the top lane, almost in a very bad spot though. But Jay is just going to be putting himself right in between of himself, right between of CS and the enemies. As such, he has to unfortunately sacrifice himself in order to ensure a safe escape for CS. Plantation that will stop Kelvin from trying to take a steal of the goal. And now, down at the bottom lane, here, not looking good. The pushback position from Ignite managed to storm off with this split push coming in from Gear.
There's one pick off as well as Team Evo leads a charge up top at the same time. But two ultimates already committed. Jay looking for an angle. This is a show that doesn't have the way of the tiger right now. So Team Evo will be looking to deploy Jay Cho right here.
And just like that, he's just going to be lifted airborne and ragdoll all the way through. Unfortunately, Diablo hoped and was trying to go in to save him, but even with the heavy spin, it was not enough.
Yeah, actually the heavy spin also works wonders against the Harif, right? You push the Harif away from the Summon Force, but Blade 3-0-3. Props to Skypiercer easily picks up Jay earlier just now, and now Ignite Gaming has to defend against an old clutch fake. Kelvin right here is just trying to buy as much time as possible for CS to really grow, but that's a purple buff, but Azu can run faster.
I'm not too sure about this. Kelvin no longer has a lot of ways to actually get more dashes in. As such, it's a 4v1. Kelvin will lift the gun as well. So if anything, fighting for this Lord is very much possible. Kelvin level 15, Azu level 14. This is the only point in time where Ignite might be able to go for a pretty good fight against Evo to try to take the Lord away. We'll see about that. As right now we do have Gear that doesn't have a lot of HP, but Diablo's just going to be pushing himself right to the choke point. He bought a lot of time, but unfortunately he will still go down. The members from Ignite Gaming, they weren't able to capitalize the moment that Diablo opened up to them. Kelvin slipped away from the sides, creates some cracks into the wrist. He tried to get himself running away, but the one that fell into the wrist gotta have to be Jay. As he loses his immortality, the members of Evil stand supreme as they manage to take 2% down. Kelvin being a hot pursuit once again. And at one point in time, Azu was only left overhead, and Kelvin at level 15. Now that is all over. Diablo has already used his heavy spin. As such, no more heavy spin that will be able to throw Sven away from his Summon Force. So in some cases, this is guaranteed for the side of Evil. He took down his Summon Force. He's going to be focusing down on the car as much as possible. Ignite Gaming is unable to do anything because Evil, they will reign supreme.
Going into championship point.
That Kelvin is able to go for.
Enters the scene.
They're going back with Archive.
But this is going to be a jungle Archive.
Jungle
Like, they're already committed for the ultimate as well. This allows Azu to just jump away. Kelvin secures the turtle instead.
No problem, but here we go. Shadow Realm is going to be popped out coming from the center blade, but no one is going to be losing their health as of yet. Gear has a lot of HP to work with.
Not saying new, very new player. It's considerably new as compared to other players that we've seen so far. But unfortunately, powerful hiding in that bush right here. Well, we saw what happened earlier just now. Kelvin have his speed to be able to steal away the turtle. This can retain itself.
Almost went down, but the Black Shoes will be able to get himself right out of critical range. As now for now, it is going to be Diablo that puts himself right in the face of Gear, forces him away. Azu still managed to take down the turtle, unfortunately, for the side of Ignite. As they pick up a kill, then onto Jay. CS hopefully will be able to run away, but a Prince of Wrath will slam right into CS's face. And unfortunately, Ignite, they are losing a little bit too.
Run through the damage and also limit the healing coming out from Jay.
As he now is going to be pushing himself, is going to be 5v2 or rather 4v2. They managed to get a kill down over to the side of Jay, right within of Ignite's territory. And Ignite, they're not too particularly interested in trying to go in and help. But in the meantime, Kelvin, now it is going to be back at it again. Okay, so at least Diablo is actually not too bad now. Managing to do a decent amount of damage over to the side of Gear. But still, Jay comes in, flicker for the side of Gear. He will be able to create some bit of positioning. In the meantime, you can see Helmet is just going to pick up the general round coming in from the side of Evil. Just going to be ensuring that Powerful will be able to stay alive for this brief moment in time. Oh, of course, we do have the Summon Force. Pops right out coming from fans. Jay runs away with just a sliver. While Evil, they lost too.
Ignite Gaming found the engagement they're looking for. They had to use a call altar right there, trying to not be able to get away with all this. And in fact, CS, he's already picked up a good stuff.
As of now, we do have Diablo trying to get himself running away. He does have a lot of mana they can eventually play with, but Powerful immediately locked down by the side of CS. He will be able to do quite a bit of damage, but in the meantime, here we go. The Summon Force is going to be popped right out. The heavy spin pushes Van away.
Then humble. This opens a lot of opportunity for the side of CS to really step up.
And now the slam coming from Jay. He managed to pick on into. Oh, there we go. Powerful. Next on the two, but this is going to be absolute pandemonium coming in from the side of Evil. But for now, we do have a Shadow Realm being popped up from the side of Blade. Both of the members actually lost their part, but now the Prince of Wrath lands, but did not manage to do too much except for a kill down over to the side of Jay. Diablo flickers himself right back over and ensures that Evil takes no more kills.
Kelvin so far has been using the heavy spin to a great success. Jay looking for a pickoff.
There we go. That is exactly what we were kind of look for, but unfortunately the heavy spin is not really doing anything to Van at this moment in time. While the fight goes on, Van receives quite a bit of damage, but he did not bring anyone down at all. CS brings one of the players down, and that is going to be Azu. The longer this fight stays, the better it is for Ignite, because they can take down the Lord. Both teams biding the time and looking for the right opportunity, and the opportunity just surfaces itself. And now here, he goes for a little bit of a punch, but Jay follow up shortly afterwards, and he managed to pull onto Azu. Powerful, however, already lost more than half HP. Well, here we have immediately the heavy spin is what we're going to be looking out for in the middle of the Summon Force. While Diablo moves himself all the way to the back line, he manages to get a kill down on the Van, while the falling Starmoon lands onto Blade, takes him down, and he's going to be looking for the next one. Unfortunately, Diablo continues to moving onwards. Here doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. Kelvin tries to go for the dash, but wasn't able to land. But this is going to be falling Starmoon that will land against him a triple kill. If he spin, it's going to be a bane of his existence.
Yeah, I'm looking at Team Evil looking to play off angles, but it seems like, CS is just wonderfully well protected as we saw in this land.
There we go, exactly as Tsunami Slam that we want to see. The Azu immediately taken down from that. But in the meantime, Blade is just going to be popping off the Shadow Realm, just hoping that we'll be able to do a decent amount over to the side of Diablo. While Kelvin moves himself forward. Once again, another one, a heavy spin down off the Van. And of course, CS melts it down like hot knife through butter. While here continues to move on forward, hoping they will be able to keep their dreams alive. But that will be the end of it. The Lord will go down. Ignite pushes through with all 5 members standing.
It was just cinders for the side of Ignite Gaming in the previous game, and all of a sudden they showed up. They blew a lot of fire into the furnace.
Immediately, there is no gain for Evil, as they realize that by the end of that, they have got nothing that will be able to keep Ignite away from this. There is still a lot that will be marching in from the top lane, and we have cycled powerful to a certain extent.
Yeah, now the Lord is going to march all the way up top. There's an open base for the side of Team Evil to have to protect. There's not a lot of wave clear in the side of Team Evil. Ignite Gaming, Roy, don't forget, can wave clear very quickly with those bombs.
We shall see how that goes. The Falling Tower from the side of Diablo will be able to land on top of Ben, but that is going to be the end of it, as now Evil managed to create some distance between themselves and to Ignite. Summon Force coming in, dropped down by Ben. His HP is already down to half HP, and Diablo focuses down onto him. But is it actually a fight that will be able to do anything? It's going to be a trade between the two of them. The Lord will still be marching in, and he will be able to do a decent number on the side of Gear. But unfortunately, that raging Sandstorm wasn't able to land on anyone at all. The rest of them is coming from the Evil, and the Lord still free hitting side. While the Lord, he focuses on the core. Blade, he wasn't able to do anything, and the Lord prevails.
Enough back.
Honestly, this current drop from the Sun Evil has a lot of mobility, so cool flash. Well, actually, the Falling Tower, I think that is fine.
Critical resources, I would say, burn away, right? Because you do that.
Oh, what? But now we're gonna be jumping straight into the game. We know for sure that now Diablo is dead. Time frame, Roy was able to, kind of get himself out of the season.
But hold on a second.
Yes, not great.
Yeah, for a three-man gang all the way up top. Azu just showing up shop. I need to see Ignite Gaming doing the same at the bottom.
Immediately now, here doesn't have a lot of HP to kind of work with, as now Kelvin versus Diablo. Diablo is mostly gonna be the one that wants to commit to that.
Okay, second turtle is gonna be very important for the side Ignite Gaming Team Evil looking to fix it down.
Turtle goes down to the hands of Kelvin, while in the meantime he's going to be summoning his steed. Far enough to be able to burst anyone down though, but waits to be seen. And now middle lane, double takedown. Blade is not powerful. Ignite gonna be focusing down on the T1 target in the middle lane. This is actually pretty darn fast. This is gonna give Ignite one heck of an advantage as they move on forward from this point onwards, while Diablo continues to put on pressure down on the Gear.
Focus, they found the snowball.
The snowball is imminent with every single one of the standing objective in the top, the middle, and the bottom lane gone. And then second. And now we're going to have a pretty nice kick down on the Kelvin. Unfortunately, Diablo, he will be taken down right now. Kelvin's just gonna be going for a counterfire. As he's just gonna be clawing his way down as a couple of members. Almost to the momentum. Down on the blade. Side snaps. The SOD. GENSHIN definitely gonna be losing out in the quality of retribution right now. But Jay randomly found Azu with the Tyrant's Revenge. Takes him down. SOD lands on the Jay. He's definitely not gonna be jumping in for now. But the main thing is, wait, hold on a second here. Oh, Blade, he went in. And Jay, not again. When it comes down to the Tyrant's Revenge, lands pretty nicely on the Gear. And now Diablo hopes to go for another one. But unfortunately, Falling Tower is not going to be landing at all. It's Gear continuing to go on forward. Will be able to get a kill down on Diablo. This is all going to be a small little diversion. We take that as an excuse. And right now, Ignite takes the Lord.
Wait, Jay is still alive after all of that. He bouncing by, bounces all the way back with safety. A lot disadvantageous. Losing Azu earlier just now, losing the Lord over the side Ignite Gaming. Lots of standing goal in their favor right now. Jay looking for more.
Oh, we'll be able to land a pretty good slam right down on the Gear. But it's still alive right now. Powerful. We'll be able to go for a tap in and a kick for the fortune. Down on the map is coming from the side. Ignite is not going to go down just yet. As Kelvin move on forward, gets a kill down over the Gear. Moves on to the next one. As now we do have the Lunox. It's just going to be whipping his way right in the face of Roy. But unfortunately, Blade, he was sacrificed. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, he was just sacrificing himself. Then move on forward.
Easy wave clear coming in from the side.
This is gonna be quite a handshake right now, as Jay versus Azu is what we can see as the west part of the Lord. Particular and a main part of the fight. They're clear. Just gonna be pushing all the way to the back of the meantime. With the dragon just gonna be coming. CS down! And that's exactly what we want to see from Son of Evil. However, they've already lost 3 members on an entire counter. While 4 members from Son of Ignite works out great. Kelvin picking up a triple all for himself, trying to make his way through. Van is the lone survivor of the team.
Ignite Gaming right here. Just 4 members leading the charge against Van. Van is just a Moscow. There's a bit of a splash damage. However, the minions are not in the favor of Ignite Gaming. A bit of reprieve for the side of Team Evil for now. But that was not looking good for the side of Team Evil, man. Everything the powerful and also Gear and Azu tried to do literally got shut down by the side of Jay. If Van wasn't able to join the fight with the SOD, it is over.
Top lane T3 and the middle lane T3 will eventually be taken
man down right now. They do not have CS with them at this moment in time, but I believe that CS might be able to make it in time because of flying clouds though. So making it in time for the middle or for the bottom lane lot eventually reaching is going to be super clutch.
Not going to commit for that one, but the Lord's marching down bot at the same time. CS managed to reinforce. You can see Van just landing up so much collateral damage. Jay going a bit too far. Azu going in. He's taking a lot of damage.
He's taking a little bit too much. Roy's just going to be black shielding himself right out of that. While Kill focuses down on the Roy as much as possible. Diablo's just going to be flickering himself right out of the fight. But unfortunately, take a look at the kill all the way to the line. Kelvin, take him down. SOD is not going to land on anyone. Two men down from side of Evil. What a quick wave moves to the bottom lane. Diablo pushes in for the start with taking down Blade. And now he might sacrifice himself. He doesn't have immortality. He's going to fight for now. Aim the next one down. While Ignite, they will move on to ensure the life in the tournament.
3-3, ladies and gents. Plot dive, Gilmore dive. Everybody for the side of Team Evo is a national diving team as well. Hilda also dives, so
Always be happy with what he has got.
they topped it up. Victor's already committed. They'll be going for it.
Doesn't look like Jay have a lot of HP to work with, but he does have to revitalize, so he's not particularly too afraid. But here comes Azu. I really want to see just how big of a deal this Esmeralda is going to make. Take a look at Blade. Because of the daily magic, it will still go down either way. It's not going to be that big of a deal for a GENSHIN after all.
That's tick damage though, but that's also a big problem because Blade is not joining the fight right here.
Marvel spawns are right down, immediately just jump right in. We do have a lot of demonic, strike coming in. They're just going to be pushing the rest of the members on the side of Ignite away. Doesn't seem like Kelvin will be able to survive from all of this. Take a look, and we do have multitude of members from the side of Evil slowly just whittling down. Azu's going to be the one that goes down in the end of the day. Powerful, manages to push Diablo away too.
Run out of battery once you finish all of it. You don't really do a lot of damage anymore.
Are they holding on to a fight for as long as possible? It's going to be really important, but I'm not too sure if Ignite can do that. As such, Roy will go down in the goal 2 in game 1 and game 2. As long as they go in, they will eventually be able to do well. But right now, we do have to try and wrap the panic next. But unfortunately, did that turtle be the one that killed Powerful? That's the question that I actually have. Azu will be able to take down the turtle right now, and they will, for the side of Diablo, just going to be pushing himself right into the side of Ben. Unfortunately, even though the falling Diablo did connect, Diablo wasn't able to land a final shot, and here it came in to save the life of Ben.
They're going to go over and over and again bot lane.
CS, he will definitely be suffering a little bit as Powerful immediately went in for an execution.
But right now, I feel like Team Evo is coming in a very awkward angle. Their whole composition is anti-dive, but why are they diving in?
No, Kelvin, not looking good.
Wait, hold on! The hat trick! You better get away out of here!
Maybe not. As Monster goes in, still managed to hammer that axe right into his face.
X3 sounded right, and that's why Kelvin wasn't anticipating because he's the Lord Jay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They're panic so hard. They lost a drive trap, and now they're just going to be losing members after members. A little bit of a sneaky peeky like gameplay coming from Harley.
The taunt coming out from Jay though.
I don't know if Kelvin will be able to do anything at this point in time, but Jay is currently in the midst of the fight. He doesn't revitalize, but he will be knocked down.
Nobody from the side of Ignite Gaming was ready to go in. Everybody has no choice but to watch their tree get taken down into the jungle. And now Team Evo is knocking on Ignite Gaming's doors.
There's absolutely no way, because now Kelvin is looking for other avenues of farm. He had to go away to the opponent's orange buff in order to get himself right back on track. Level 13 to level 13, at least when it comes to recognition of the loss of when it comes down to what to do it, that's not enough to bring CS down. That is going to be one of the main ways that Ignite is able to clear the wave. And now Jay is in the back of not able to do anything.
Ignite Gaming is playing from behind.
We could potentially be able to kind of clear this out, as we do have Grid Wave that's just going to be marching down from the bottom lane. Blink goes in, Powerful goes in as well, but they got a really being taunted down. It's going to be the one going down. Powerful not going to be doing well, but take a look here. It goes down too. We got 2 bottoms down from the side of Evil already, but they're trying to go for a little bit of trade.
So that's why Team Evo, the members of Team Evo, is taking too much turret punishment.
They're getting a little bit too desperate right now. The rapid tries that's going to be popping right out, and Kelvin will be even getting killed out of Azu. Just a big one. Not the one that we want to see. Checkpoints. At least right now, there is still a possibility for Ignite to be able to do something right now. Marvel is just going to be spawned right now. He's just going to be putting himself right to the face of Roy. But right now, he's going to be taken down by the side of CS. The Blazy do it, but Ben, he will be able to shred that to pieces with 2 men down. Diablo brings Ben down, and now Evil, now holding on
while Diablo makes a quick getaway to ensure of his own life.
Right now, Ignite Gaming is struggling to go all the way back. You only got Diablo and Kelvin as well staying alive. Team Evil doesn't pack any marksmen right here. The Mlbb minions are marching in against Ignite Gaming, and Diablo desperately trying to pull the minions away.
Marble is still going to be spawned right now, and right now with the trusty steed, they will be focusing all of their fights down on the Diablo. I don't think it's going to be enough to take him down as well. If they want to force down this core, it might not be good. Only a sliver! The immortality for himself, Lord, perhaps him more than enough money to get himself the immortality.
Lord presses down half HP. If you notice how Jay's positioning right there.
Man! He's gonna be still alive just for a tad little bit, but Diablo might be looking for a little bit of an avenue. Just focus down on the fan and ensuring that he will not be able to get the fight. And now Kelvin takes the lock down, blinking to a blast of course. When he comes up with the truck, he will want to do as much damage as possible. He will cost him and find himself. The rest of them are but they were trying to get himself running away. But Enzu, he got the rest of evil.
A total wipeout abstract. Crazy games coming off from Ignite Gaming, and the nick of time, the Lord in the hands, 3-man, 4-man as well, with minions coming in against Team Evil. Evil, 30 seconds out, abstract, this is it.
There is no way the evil can get through this as they sat there and watch the crowd would soar by the hands of Ignite Gaming.
Unbelievable gameplay coming out from Ignite Gaming. This is not the result that we expected. The defending champion crumbles as we will celebrate the rise of a new champion.
The season 11 champions, Ignite Gaming. After 4 weeks of epic battles, from being a legend to immortal, Ignite Gaming, you may now take what is rightfully yours. You have made your fans proud, you have made Singapore proud, and now you are ready to fly to Paris, France. And the finals MVP is... Your finals MVP, Kelvin! So, what do you want to say to your fans?
Thank you so much for supporting us this day. Without you, we cannot win. Thank you so much, guys.
I have one question for you. Which game or which play do you think sealed this MVP for you?
I think the last game, because we come back and won the championship.
Alright, thank you so much. This question is for Diablo. You will go again to the international stage and represent Singapore. What's your message to Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia? Because Singapore is sending its strongest team.
Actually, nothing much. Just put out a good fight, but just want to say that my performance in Malaysia wasn't good, so this time I'm back to redeem myself, and hopefully I can put out a better performance in MSC. Yeah.